Republican Winsome Sears making history this week. She's the first woman to hold Virginia's lieutenant governor's office and the first woman of color to win any statewide election. Watch.
There are some who want to divide us, and we must not let that happen. They would like us to believe we are back in 1963 when my father came. We have had a black president elected not once but twice, and here I am, living proof. What you are looking at is the American dream. The American dream.
Meanwhile, members of the squad in Congress silent on this historic news. This woman is just breaking ceilings left and right. Despite their history of supporting women and women of color running for office, we haven't heard a word from any of them. Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley tweeting about other election wins. Joining me right now is Georgia gubernatorial candidate Vernon Jones. Vernon, great to have you. Thanks very much for being here. You campaigned for Lieutenant Governor Sears. Tell us about her.
Well, she's as solid as anybody I know. She's a Marine. She's a mother. She's a wife. She understands politics. She served in the legislature before. She's very powerful. And she does not see herself as a victim. This is America. If you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere. And I, too, I'm surprised that there hasn't been more of a congratulatory type of offering to her. Even from the NAACP, are they going to recognize her for her achievement? What about the black women groups, the sorority groups, and others? The liberal news networks, why aren't they really highlighting, wait a minute, here's someone, I don't know if there are any other black lieutenant governors, and certainly I don't know any Democrat black lieutenant governors. But it's not about her color. That's what they try to do, is to divide us. This young lady is lieutenant governor of Virginia. Those mama bears and those papa bears spoke out against critical race theory and all those other things that's dividing their community. And she understood that, and her message was resounding, and it reflects in her victory.
Yeah, what leadership. She is really coming across great. We are watching her show her leadership every day. She's been on Fox a few times as well. But let's talk about what took place this week, because in addition to sweeping the statewide offices in Virginia, winning back the state House and battling Democrats to a virtual tie in deep blue New Jersey, Vernon, Republicans on Tuesday scored big wins across the country. What do you think is happening in terms of the people voting against things like what you just said, critical race theory, and some of these woke policies?
Well, there's a revolt coming from the American people and its grassroots. It shows that there's a failure coming from the White House, with Joe Biden being at the tip of the spear. High gasoline prices, heating prices are going up, chain of supply crisis, or I should say supply chain crises that are taking place. When you look around, people want a quality education for their children, and they want to have some involvement in what their children are being taught. And when you see the Attorney General threatening mama bears and papa bears that they can't go to their school boards and let them know what they feel about what's being taught in their curriculum, that goes to tell you that you can only suppress people for so much or so long, and they're going to come back. The mandates, the vaccine mandates, the mask mandates, people losing their jobs, the stress from that. Joe Biden and the administration has failed. The Democrats have failed, and it's creating a revolution.
Well, I mean, it's pretty unbelievable that the Democrats are still not getting it, rather than saying, OK, this is what just took place this week with all of these victories in long Democrat-held areas. They're pushing forward with their policies. The House Democrats added paid leave. They added the SALT deduction to their spending bill, still driving it through as if nothing has changed. Nancy Pelosi said, no, this doesn't change the agenda. Then you've got Georgia Governor Brian Kemp slamming President Biden's vaccine mandate for federal contractors in a news conference yesterday. He called it dangerous overreach. The mandate is expected to put the state's university system in a tough spot as well. Kemp filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration challenging the vaccine requirement last week. You're seeing these mandates throughout the country, and it begins with Joe Biden. Your thoughts?
Well, Governor Kemp joined Joe Biden in welcoming the Afghanistan people here, unvetted, unmasked, unvaccinated. And it's also ironic that he's filing a lawsuit following other governors when, as you mentioned, the University of Georgia, the largest employer in the state of Georgia, and all of its universities, they are going forward with the mandates, firing people for not taking the vaccination. And this governor has not taken one step at all against these universities. He's been silent. As a matter of fact, many of the appointments on the board of regents are appointments from the governor. So he's talking one way, but he's governing another, and the people of Georgia are not fooled by that. And again, I'm surprised no one from the media asked him about the mandates right now, because I have employees calling me, even the contractors from these universities. They have been told that if you're a contractor, that you're going to lose your job if you don't, or your contract, if your employees are not vaccinated. So the governor has been intellectually dishonest. And that's why people are aware of what he's done there. He's failed on election integrity. He's failed on opening Georgia up like it should be opened up. He's failed on critical race theory. We're in a special session now. He could have that on the agenda to ban critical race theory. He hasn't. Taxes are going up. Prices are going up. Yeah. And that's why my initiative to move forward with eliminating the state income tax is so important here in Georgia.
Yeah, and then, one thing you didn't mention was crime. Crime is surging in Atlanta, and look at what happened in Minneapolis. They're still trying to push through this reimagine, defund the police policy. It's incredible. Vernon, thanks very much. Always good to get your take. We appreciate you joining me this morning.